started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to, of course, another live stream where we will talk about what is going on within the price of Bitcoin. Of course, as always, we will run through the Bitcoin technical analysis. We will take a look at what is going on and, talk about anything that we need to be aware of. So if that does all sound interesting, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can, of course, continue to bring this content to you. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe as well. But enough of that. Let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look at what is currently happening, what has happened, and kind of what we can look for in the near to short term future. But let's go. So, of course, Bitcoin did make a new all-time high on Bybit. Okay, we did see price come all the way up to $104,645. So absolutely amazing to see this, of course, for the HODL portfolios, right? This is, a really good day, and I will hold my hands up and I will say I have, offloaded a fair bit of Bitcoin as well. So today has been quite a nice day, in all honesty. But for me, it's a case of I positioned myself in a very good way all the way back here in the bear market. Buying up even further back than this, buying Bitcoin below $20,000, buying Bitcoin below $35,000, okay, even at $16,000, okay, and this for me is enough to the point where I don't feel as though I'm being too greedy. So I will be open and honest and admit that I have offloaded quite a lot of the portfolio, in all honesty, and it's kind of just preparing myself for any potential huge correction that may follow. Okay, it's not necessarily going to happen now. We could see another all-time high again before we do see a huge correction. But what we have to understand, that a big correction is coming. Okay, are we going to see another move up before a move down? We don't know. Okay, but what I'm planning for now is, of course, the bear market. I'm 5 steps ahead here, exactly like in the bear market you have to be five steps ahead as well. So I'm trying to gather in as much cash as possible so that when we do enter into that bear market and we do see these big pullbacks, that of course I can kind of dollar cost average on the way down, right? That was the strategy that I had in the last bear market. Worked out tremendously for me this bull market, so I'm going to do it again, right? So but to be able to do that, of course, I need to position myself in cash, and selling Bitcoin above $100,000 is not not a bad return, especially when you've been buying it at 16,000, 20,000, 30,000, 35,000. So can't really complain. But of course, all-time high, right? Once again. And, we were talking about a potential short trade, right, from the previous all-time high at 99,776, and actually a short trade off of the front run of that as well. Okay, so we were talking about this in the past two streams, and I didn't actually take a short trade, right? And like I said to the team this morning as well, I was asleep when we hit 100k. But yeah, 100k. Checked off the list. Okay, absolutely no sign of weakness at the naked point of control or all-time high. So of course, no shorts was taken. Right. So we were looking at this naked point of control at 99,375. We of course had all-time high as well. The confluence here, was looking good for a potential short trade, but okay, it's all about what is happening at the level. Okay, and what we saw at the level was just a huge inflow of long trades, a huge green candle smashing straight through that all-time high. And like I said, absolutely no sign of weakness there. Absolutely no sign of weakness. And of course, making that new all-time high at $104,645. Where from there, okay, we have actually seen a big pullback. Okay, we have actually seen a big pullback. And we are going to talk about this. And then, of course, we will talk about those next potential trades that we can look for as well. But talking about this pullback, why are we seeing this pullback? Well, of course, we're going to see a lot of people taking profits. Okay, I myself have taken profit as well. So of course, I have been initially selling into the market as well. But a lot of people are going to be selling up here. But one of the biggest reasons why we are seeing this pullback here is because there are big players opening up big short trades up here. Okay, there are big players opening up big short trades, and I'll be 100% honest with you. The order flow up here, okay, was actually looking very bearish. Okay, I haven't taken any short trade off of this. There was large signs of weakness up here. Okay, but for me, in terms of trading, not really the confluence that I really want and like to see when entering into a trade. Confluence was there, but just not enough in my opinion. So up here, okay, what we saw, okay, like I said, was huge absorption, huge amount of absorption. Big players are initially entering into these big sell positions. Okay, and this is of course not looking not necessarily looking too good at this moment in time. And let's just take a look at that. So we'll go back down to the 30-minute, and we can see actually it might be a little bit better to look at it on here. Okay, if we look at it on coinalyze.net, and let's bring in the open interest as well. Okay, and what we can see here, sorry, I've already got the open interest open. Let's the CBD, there we go. That's what we wanted. Here we go. So, right, let's just have a little bit of a breakdown here. Okay, price has had a huge rise towards the upside, of course, making that new all-time high above 104,000. Right, we've seen a huge inflow, okay, of new trades opening up as price is doing this. At the same time, right, we're seeing a huge inflow of positive delta as this is happening as well. Right, so we know that these are new long trades opening up. Okay, however, price begins to kind of consolidate up here, kind of plateaus up here. Right, we don't see any further upside. But what is happening with the open interest? What is happening with the CBD? Okay, well, we're continuing to see these huge inflows of long trades. Okay, and there were actually, right, if you look at the trajectory. Not going to be able to say this word, am I? The trajectory of what of delta and open interest. okay, from the huge move up, right? And then when price plateaued, you can see, right, that we actually had more trades opening. And of course, those were new long trades opening up. So we had more long trades opening up at, all-time high, okay, when price was plateauing, okay, than we actually did on the move towards the upside, right? But price is looking bearish, right? Why is price looking bearish? Well, price is looking bearish because we are forming lower highs up here, okay? We are very clearly forming lower highs, right? Whereas we're seeing, of course, huge open interest inflow, huge new positive delta increases, okay? So we know that new millions upon millions of new long trades are opening up, right? We can then go into the order flow, right? And we can have a look at this, right? You can see on the move up here, we had 87 million, right? We had 48 million, 72 million, 18 million, 49 million, 25 million, 61 million, 9.7 million. We had 15 million, 90 million, 6.9 million, 8 point, sorry, that was a decrease of open interest. 14 million, 4.3 million, 2.4 million, 5.2 million. There's just been an incredible amount of long trades that have opened up here. Okay, an incredible amount of open interest increases, positive delta increases, but price is actually forming bearish structure. So this is indicating to us that there are a series of big players, or a singular big player, okay, that has a very, very large sell limit order up here, okay, who is absorbing all of those millions upon millions, like literally over 500 million long trades, okay, have been absorbed in this area here, okay, 500 million. That's a hell of a lot of long trades, okay, a hell of a lot of long trades, okay, telling us, right, that there is a very, very large player up here, okay, a very, very large player up here who is absorbing all of those longs, and it has to be a very, very big player, okay, or a series of big players to absorb that amount of long trades. And what you have to take into consideration as well is that that's just on Bybit alone. Okay, this is not counting Mexi, Binance, all these other exchanges, Woox, right? All of these other exchanges as well. Okay, it's not taking that into consideration, but 500 million on one exchange. Okay, imagine adding all the exchanges together. It's going to be billions, right? Billions and billions of long trades, okay, that have been absorbed up here, right? So this is just something to be aware of, because this is initially, right, a big sign of weakness. And of course, we have seen a big pullback off of that. Doesn't mean I'm going to enter into a short here. Absolutely not, right? Just short, if you were to take a short, it would have been from up there. Okay, we did have a little bit of confluence. Like I said, not really the confluence I would like to look for. Okay, we had, of course, coming into that GP 786, rejected off of that, nice big correction. But yeah, for me, that is, one big sign of weakness. And, this could, lead to a much bigger correction. And I've just seen Eric, good to see you back, my friend. Just a healthy correction. Bull market is not over. This, I 100% agree. This does not mean that the bull market is over at all. Okay, but we do just have to take into consideration that there is a big player or a series of big players that are selling up here. Okay, big sells coming into the market up here. And the smart money, okay, is of course called smart money for a reason, because they are the ones that make real money in the market. So when you're seeing the smart money doing things, that's kind of what a lot of my strategy is based off of as well. It's looking for those big players, those those smart money traders, okay, who really know what they're doing in these markets. And of course, they have a lot of money in these markets as well, and are trading with a lot of money, and they have a lot of money on the line as well. Okay, so they really need to, have everything in check. And yeah, I mean, doing what they're doing is really not a bad idea, and that's initially, part of the strategy. When I'm of course looking for trades, I'm looking for these big areas of absorption to, of course, take advantage of that. So, it's just something to be aware of. Okay, I'm never going to sit here and say this is the top of the bull market. Okay, because I'll be 100% honest with you. I do not know. Okay, and I do not care. Right, this could be. Okay, or it could not be. I don't care. I'm just looking for those high probability trade setups, and of course, taking them. Right, but it is, again, something to be aware of. It's a big sign of weakness. Again, we've seen a big correction off of it. Right, we have seen a big correction off of it, and it could lead to a bigger correction off of it. Okay, it could lead to a bigger correction, but again, not necessarily. Like Eric said, the bull market is not necessarily over. Okay, for me, I'd have to see more signs of weakness, i.e., I would need to see I'd prefer to see a bigger correction here, okay, and the same thing on a move up. If we're seeing the same thing here on a move up and we're seeing huge absorption, for me, right, that's when it starts to look very bearish. Okay, very bearish. And if we, again, to do the same, like this huge absorption here, that's when I'm thinking to myself, okay, price is probably looking like it wants to roll over. Okay, maybe this is the end of the bull market, right? That's kind of like how I would look at this. But, right, again, like Eric said, this is just a healthy correction at this moment in time. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, it's just a healthy correction. Again, I showed you the 500 plus million long trades that opened up here. That's not healthy. Okay, that's really not healthy, especially if prices plateau like this. Okay, absorption, price can only go in one direction. Okay, it is the opposite direction, which of course is down. It's healthy. We're getting rid of all those FOMO long trades coming in. Longing on a breakout of $100,000 is probably the most stupid thing that I've ever heard of. Okay, the most stupid thing that I've ever heard of, and every single one of those long trades got wrecked. Okay, I understand why they've entered into those long trades. Okay, but they're all getting wrecked. Right, I understand. 3 years ago, I was in their shoes. Okay, so I understand. I can sympathize. Right, I get it. Okay, you think the market's going to continue going up forever and it's never going to stop. Okay, I understand that, but it's very it's a very stupid decision. Okay, to be entering into longs up here, and billions upon billions of longs have opened up here, and that is all based off of FOMO. Okay, all based off of extreme FOMO. So yeah, that's one thing. If you could take one thing away, it's just never ever give into FOMO ever. If you're looking at a trade, okay, and let's say for example there was a trade set up from here, okay, and price is going to rise up here, okay, and you're looking at entering into trades up here, you've missed the move here, okay, wait for a pullback like we're getting now. Okay, look for the next best trade setup and take that, but just never ever give into FOMO. That's one of the quickest ways that you can possibly get wrecked, right? FOMO. And again, breakout trading. Okay, breakout trading. Again, here you've seen. Okay, we actually broke out of this, and of course we were looking for, of course, a short here. We didn't end up taking the short trade because, like I said, there was no sign of weakness there. Okay. But again, breakout trades, you've kind of missed the whole of the move. Okay, and then you see, right, again, the breakout traders who were too scared to long the breakout, so they remain a little bit more patient, in a hesitant way. Okay, not as in being patient, in a smart way, in a smart manner. It's being patient because they're being hesitant. Okay, and then they see, oh, we're breaking above 100k, let's open an absurd amount of long trades here. Okay, so yeah, FOMO is just not something to give into whatsoever. Okay, but yeah, I mean, yeah, going back to what Eric said, it's not the end of the bull market. This doesn't mean it's the end of the bull market, but it is something to take into consideration that there are big players selling up here. Okay, there are big players. And if it continues, like I said, this is when we can start talking about, okay, maybe the bull market could be over. But I would have to see a bigger sign of weakness, which is a bigger pullback, another attempt up to all-time high. But we see huge absorption here, huge amounts of long trades opening up. Okay, and that for me is like, okay, you can visually see it here where price is then plateauing. It's doing exactly what we saw up here, okay, just on a larger time frame. Okay, and what happens, right? You see a larger correction. So that's how I would kind of that would be how I kind of view this, right? If we do start to see this bigger, higher time frame absorption, okay, that's when I can get a little bit more bearish on the market. But at this moment in time, there's no major sign of weakness. There's a semi-major sign of weakness here. Okay, doesn't mean the bull market's over at all. And in terms of new trades, okay, it's of course I would like to look for a short trade on another move up if we are to get absorption. Of course, if we're going to start to see these big players building up big sell positions, okay, big short positions, okay, it's not a bad idea to of course do the same. So if I'm starting to see that weakness, that's where I can potentially build up, start building up a big short position. And I mean, this is kind of my plan for the bear market anyway. Of course, I've got a plan for the bear market. Like I said at the start, I've got to plan five moves ahead here, okay? And at some point, I'm going to have to plan a big short trade. Of course, I want to, exactly like, I've got the whole portfolio that I've been taking advantage of this whole rise towards the upside. I need to have kind of a hodl portfolio to take advantage of the move down. Okay, whereas you can't really do that unless, of course, cash. So you can, I guess you can. But I would like to build a big short position. Okay, I would like to build a big short position. So that's going to be my plan. When I start to see big signs of weakness, I will build a short position. I will look for a pullback. Okay, I won't necessarily take profit on this. Okay, because the plan for this would not be a trade. Okay, the plan for this would be building up a position to hold throughout the whole of the bear market. Okay, to of course take advantage of all of that, right? All of that potential bear market if it is to come, or sorry, when it is to come, because we know it's coming. Okay, we know it's coming. We just don't know when. So it's a case of, right, I'm not necessarily going to take profit from that. Okay, it's like, okay, if I enter into it, I get a good entry, right? We look for a pullback. Maybe we see another rise up. Okay, maybe we get another short trade entry. We can add to that. Okay, I can add to that, and I can do that. Okay, I can continuously do that, entering into shorts. Okay, when I see valid setups on the way down, and that's how I would be looking to take advantage of that bear market, right? And again, not necessarily taking profits on the way down, right? Again, this is a bear market trade in my opinion. This is, of course, I'll still have smaller trades that I will open and close here and there. In a bear market, taking long trades is not a bad idea as well when the long trades present themselves to you, right? But yeah, this is something that I'd be looking to hold down to, wherever we kind of see price settle at a low, right? Where the possible low of the bear market could be, right? That's kind of my plan, thinking 5 steps ahead. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. But yeah, right now, like Eric said, no major sign of weakness. Okay, yes, that was a fairly big sign of weakness, and we've reacted off of that, pretty harshly. Okay, but it's not a major sign of weakness. If we start to see a major sign of weakness, that's when I'll look to, of course, position myself in such a way where I can take advantage of that bear market. In terms of like new trades, though, new intraday trades, swing trades, I don't really see anything at this moment in time other than maybe a long trade again from VWAP, naked point of control down here. I still like this area. Okay, I do still like this area, and it still lines up with holding bullish structure, in my opinion. So yeah, that's still something that could be on the cards, and then it's a case of, right, do we see price coming up to all-time high again for another higher high, or do we, of course, see that big absorption kind of in this area here, where we then look for a short and look to take that down, maybe sub 90k, right? So these are all things that we take into consideration. For me, it's just patience here. Again, price discovery, it's a little bit hard. It makes it harder for us to find those high quality trades. So it's patience, right? Let's let price settle again and reevaluate and see what happens from there. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I won't drag it out for too much longer, or for too long, sorry. But yeah, I will leave that there. And yeah, I will, of course, see you in the live stream tomorrow. So yeah, have a lovely day. Just be aware, right? We are seeing big players sell up here, and we know that a lot of they have a lot of knowledge in these markets. So yeah, that's just something to consider. And it's not necessarily that they are expecting this to be the all-time high and we're going to be in a bear market. Okay, it could just be them building up a big position here, a big short position here. Okay, we could go higher. They could add to that, right? And we don't know who this is, right? It could be short trade, big players shorting. It could be big players taking profits, of course. To of course be in cash when the bear market comes, right? So that they can buy up at the low of the bear market, right? So yeah, still patience, and yeah, those trades will come. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So take care and goodbye.